Making Aliyah with only a Jewish father presents a complex legal and religious situation that requires careful understanding of both Israeli immigration law and the practical realities of life in Israel. While you are legally eligible for Israeli citizenship under the law of return, your status creates unique challenges that differ significantly from those faced by applicants with maternal Jewish lineage. Under Israel's law of return, enacted in 1950 and amended in 1970, you qualify for Aliyah if you have one Jewish grandparent, regardless of whether that lineage is maternal or paternal. This means that having a Jewish father makes you eligible for Israeli citizenship, full civil rights, and most benefits available to new immigrants. The law was deliberately crafted to be inclusive, recognizing that Nazi persecution targeted anyone with Jewish ancestry, regardless of religious law definitions. Therefore, your legal right to Israeli citizenship is unquestionable and well established. However, this legal eligibility creates what many describe as a dual status situation within Israeli society. While the Israeli government recognizes you as eligible for citizenship, the Israeli chief rabbinate, which controls matters of personal status, including marriage, divorce, conversion, and burial, operates according to traditional Jewish law, halakha, which determines Jewish identity through maternal lineage. This creates a situation where you are simultaneously Israeli enough for citizenship, but not Jewish enough for certain religious purposes within the state. The practical implications of this dual status affect several key areas of life in Israel. Marriage presents the most immediate challenge, as Israel does not permit civil marriage, and religious marriages are conducted according to the religious laws of each community. If you wish to marry in Israel, you would need to either convert to Judaism first, marry abroad in a civil ceremony, which Israel recognizes, or find alternative arrangements through progressive Jewish movements that recognize patrilineal descent. Divorce proceedings, should they become necessary, must also be conducted through religious courts, which may not recognize your Jewish status. Burial in Jewish cemeteries could present challenges, as these are typically controlled by religious authorities operating under Orthodox standards. However, Israel does provide secular burial options and alternative arrangements for those whose religious status is questioned by Orthodox authorities. The documentation requirements for patrilineal Aliyah applications are more extensive and face enhanced scrutiny compared to maternal lineage cases. You must provide comprehensive proof of your father's Jewish identity, which often requires documentation spanning multiple generations. Your birth certificate listing your Jewish father becomes crucial, along with your father's birth certificate or other proof of his Jewish identity. If claiming through a paternal grandfather, you'll need documentation proving that lineage as well. The rabbi's letter required for your application must explicitly state that you were born to a Jewish father or descendant of a Jewish grandfather, with specific names and relationships clearly documented. This letter typically requires more supporting evidence than maternal lineage cases, including community testimonies about your family's Jewish involvement, synagogue membership records showing family participation, and cultural documentation demonstrating ongoing Jewish practice and identity. Israeli authorities often look for patterns of Jewish living that confirm authentic Jewish identity beyond formal religious status. This means providing evidence of Jewish education, holiday observance, community involvement, and cultural connection that demonstrates your family's sustained engagement with Jewish life. The goal is to show that your Jewish identity represents genuine cultural and religious connection rather than merely genealogical qualification. Conversion represents a significant consideration for those making Aliyah through patrilineal descent. Some choose to convert before Aliyah to clarify their religious status, and avoid future complications. Orthodox conversion provides universal recognition within Israeli society, but requires extensive study and commitment to Orthodox practice. Conservative conversion is generally accepted by Israeli authorities and may be more accessible while still providing broad recognition. The timing of conversion, whether before or after Aliyah, involves strategic considerations. Converting before Aliyah simplifies your religious status from the outset and may streamline the immigration process. However, it requires finding appropriate conversion programs in your home country and may delay your Aliyah timeline. Converting after Aliyah allows you to begin the immigration process immediately, but means arriving with unclear religious status that must be resolved later. Children and family planning considerations become particularly important for those making Aliyah through patrilineal descent. Your children's status depends on your spouse's Jewish identity. Children born to a Jewish mother are automatically Jewish regardless of the father's status, while children born to a non-Jewish mother with a Jewish father have the same patrilineal status as you. This affects their future options for marriage within Israel and their own potential religious status questions. If you marry a non-Jewish spouse, your children will face the same dual status situation you experience. Some families address this by ensuring the mother converts before children are born, thereby conferring undisputed Jewish status on the children. Others accept that their children will navigate the same patrilineal status considerations they faced. The application process for patrilineal cases typically takes longer than maternal lineage applications due to additional documentation requirements and enhanced verification procedures. Israeli authorities may request supplementary evidence, conduct additional interviews, or require clarification of family circumstances. This extended timeline requires early planning and preparation to ensure your application progresses smoothly. Building a strong documentation package becomes crucial for patrilineal applicants. This involves comprehensive genealogical research, tracing your Jewish lineage, multiple verification sources for your father's or grandfather's Jewish identity, community integration evidence showing ongoing Jewish involvement, and cultural documentation demonstrating Jewish lifestyle and knowledge. Professional support from genealogical researchers specializing in Jewish family history, Aliyah organizations experienced with patrilineal cases, and immigration lawyers familiar with complex law of return applications can prove invaluable. The social integration aspect of patrilineal Aliyah requires particular consideration. While Israeli society is diverse and accepting of various backgrounds, you may encounter questions about your religious status in certain contexts. Progressive Jewish communities in Israel, particularly in urban areas, are generally welcoming and understanding of patrilineal Jewish identity. However, more traditional environments may require explanation or accommodation. Military service, required for most new immigrants of appropriate age, treats patrilineal Jewish immigrants equally with all other citizens. The Israel Defense Forces do not distinguish between maternal and paternal Jewish lineage for service purposes, and military service often serves as a strong integration mechanism that helps establish your place in Israeli society, regardless of religious status questions. Educational considerations affect families with children, as Israeli schools vary in their religious character and requirements. Secular schools present no issues for patrilineal Jewish students, while religious schools may have varying policies depending on their specific orientation and leadership. Professional life in Israel rarely involves religious status considerations except in specifically religious contexts. Most employers, professional associations, and business environments operate on secular principles where your immigration status and professional qualifications matter far more than religious lineage questions. The long-term perspective for patrilineal Jewish immigrants has generally been positive, with most successfully integrating into Israeli society and finding their place within the diverse spectrum of Israeli Jewish identity. Many choose to resolve religious status questions through conversion when convenient, while others live comfortably within Israel's secular framework without feeling compelled to change their status. Community support networks exist specifically for immigrants navigating complex Jewish identity questions. Organizations within Israel provide guidance on religious status issues, conversion options, and integration strategies for those whose Jewish identity doesn't fit traditional patterns. These resources help ensure that patrilineal Jewish immigrants can build successful lives in Israel, while addressing any religious status considerations according to their personal preferences and circumstances. The decision to make Aliyah through patrilineal Jewish descent ultimately represents a choice to embrace your connection to Jewish history and contribute to Israel's future, regardless of religious status complexities. While the dual status situation requires understanding and planning, it doesn't prevent successful integration into Israeli society or meaningful participation in Israeli Jewish life. Many patrilineal Jewish immigrants find that living in Israel actually strengthens their Jewish identity and provides opportunities for Jewish engagement that weren't available in their countries of origin. Understanding these realities allows you to make informed decisions about timing, preparation, and long-term planning while maintaining realistic expectations about both the challenges and opportunities that await. The key is approaching the process with full awareness of the complexities while remaining confident in your legal right to Israeli citizenship and your place within the diverse tapestry of Israeli society.